And welcome back to Parliament, which is, of course, at the Cape Town City Hall. This has been officially declared a precinct of Parliament. And we're still in the exhibition centre, this legacy exhibition of Tata Nelson Mandela, whose birthday, of course, it is today. So we spoke earlier to the National Assembly Speaker, Togo Didiza. We're joined now by the chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, and she is, of course, also the former Premier of Mpumalanga, Refilwe Mtsweni-Tsipane. Thanks so much for coming through.
Thank you so much, Sakina, and good morning to the listeners at home.
So how's it been settling into your new role as the NCOP chair?
Well, I must say, I'm settling in very well. Of course, given the people that I'm working with in the likes of the Speaker, Mam Togo Didiza. So they've made it kind of easier for me to be part of this beautiful family of National Assembly. So I'm very happy to be in this space at this point in time. And we're looking forward to serve our people.
And this is, of course, a very important House of Parliament, because this is where the provinces give expression to all of the legislative pieces of work, the concurrence that needs to be had from the provinces in basically making sure that what the people in those provinces want is given expression. So talk to us about how important this role actually is, and of course at the start of this seventh administration, how much work have you had to go through already?
Well, our mandate is very clear, as you have correctly alluded to. We are basically the bridge between national and provinces, and as well as our municipalities, representing the plight and the aspiration of our communities on the ground, so that they do find expression, those concerns find expression in the work of the executive, right from the national sphere of government, even in the provinces themselves, and as well as our municipalities. So therefore, that collaboration, we have to make sure that it becomes seamless. Hence, I am saying that we are that bridge that will enable such work to be done with ease, and it becomes much more seamless, more effective and efficient. And therefore, that to us is important. I must say, Sakina, that we are ready to go. In actual fact, we've already started working as the NCOP and as well as the NA, because we've already set up all the necessary structures that are needed in the House in a form of committees that have been established. But over and above that, as we know that we have to confirm and pass the budget for this administration, we are now seized with the work of making sure that committees does sit and the House that sits to approve those budgets. So yes, it's quite a work in progress that is moving at speed. So we had to adapt. So there was no time for complacency and try to find yourself. You learn as you walk, but the question is, you need to pace yourself so that you are well conversant, quite familiar of what is needed on the ground. Of course, the issue of bills that has provincial interest, those bills will have to be deliberated as well by us as well. Not only just deliberate on them, but take them back to the provinces and have a robust, extensive consultation with our communities, so that they too become part and parcel. They understand precisely what is proposed in that bill, and they too have an input, whether they accept or they reject or they amend. And we come back in the House, consolidate all that, and give the recommendation, which will then determine whether we approve or not approve the bill. And of course, ultimately, it will be assented to by the President. So the role is quite important, and we just need to be on our toes and make sure that we represent our people. More so when we've had them during the election, when we're traversing the length and breadth of our country, we now have a sense, our people have spoken. So therefore, they cannot cannot be work without them being directly involved. As we move forward, we need to reconfigure our house such that it spends a lot of time being in touch with the communities so that we can get the bread and butter issues that we need to come back and make sure that we hold our executive accountable as to what is it that they are doing to address those issues, and accordingly go back to our communities, give them feedback as to what would be done, by when would it be done, and then what sort of kind of response that they should be getting in that regard. That to us is very important.
So with regard to rules and the Rules Committee, because we see in the National Assembly, since the ANC no longer has an outright majority, they've had to do some work in terms of configuring this Government of National Unity's impact on that composition. In terms of the NCOP?
Well, we had the similar. Fortunately, when we got here, there were new rules that were proposed. We've since adopted them with the proviso that we appreciate, we note the development as they are happening in a form of a GNU. We then deferred the very same rules to the review committee, which will then sit in that review committee and look at the current situation as it is contained. What impact does it have on the rules? So therefore, we are seized with that responsibility, and then shortly we'll then be going back to the Rules Committee and subsequently to the House for adoption of those rules. And of course, we do have the Joint Rules Committee where we both sit and deliberate on the rules so that there is uniformity in terms of its application across both houses, particularly when there are joint sittings as well. So those rules then will then apply at that point in time. Yes, I must say that you must be comforted. That's one amongst the other responsibilities that we are seized with, to make sure that there is proper synergy.
Well, thanks so much. Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, that's Refilwe Mtsweni-Tsipane, and she, of course, will be here tonight as well. It is a joint sitting of the two houses of Parliament, and of course, 7 p.m. is when it takes place. But we will have everything covered for you from the red carpet, which will start at around 5 p.m. We'll show you all of that. Not sure how much of it we'll see with the weather outside. Not sure how much people will be showing off or wanting to show off in this weather, but we are here making sure that as people come through, we keep you abreast of all the developments wall to wall here from Parliament.